the only podcast without a creative bone in their body. This is Bombers.
Hey everybody, welcome to another wonderfully creative and not at all creatively bankrupt episode of a creative podcast. If I say creative enough, does that make us creative or uncreative?
Creatively, no.
No? Oh boy. Hi, I'm Bomber number 5, Anthony, aka Deg, and my most creative partner ever. Joining me here is Bomber number 3, Xiaber, aka Xiaber.
Don't worry, Dag, you can lie. Or you don't have to lie. I mean, that's how uncreative I am.
See, now, we're so creative that we can't lie. So everything we're telling you on this show is the truth. Lies are, you need to be creative to lie. You need to be able to fabricate a reality in which your truth is true.
The only podcast that cannot tell a lie. That's
what one of these podcast hosts can only tell the truth, and the other can only lie.
It's pretty obvious which one it is.
Figure out how to escape the dungeon later on in Bombers, the Choose Your Own Adventure podcast.
Trick question. There is no way to escape.
If you would like to, you awake in the depths of Xiber's basement. If you would like to stand up from the chair, please go to minute 6. If you remain seated, please go to minute 10. Now I have to wait for those timestamps to actually continue the story.
Yeah, but I have no idea what the timestamp is since we
don't
start
neither.
at 0.
Yeah. Well, that'll be fun. I guess. And then if you something else in Xiber's basement, just continue listening from here.
Yes, all you in my basement should know by now, from your diligent drilling of hearing our podcast, that we have a website, thisisbombers.com, where you can find all about us, our personal details, our most intimacy.
Oh. Now who's the one being creative? And
I only tell the truth.
Well, wait a minute.
You can find, all of our podcast episodes or links to them, etc. You can find our YouTube where you can also see our podcast or watch Twitch stream clips that have been clipped to YouTube. You can go directly to our Twitch where you can watch us play video games or join us on Thursday nights, which the day of this recording it is. So who knows what we'll be playing tonight.
Today's Thursday?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
You can also go to our Discord, link in description below, where you can talk to us and talk with us and talk about us. Anything you feel like, but not actually talking. It's all in text, so it's more typing.
It's communicating.
Communication sucks.
Literally, that's all we do.
And finally, if you enjoy our lovely conversations that you listen to, you can go to our Patreon and give us money. Become a friend, best friend, acquaintance, executive bomb-deucer, not in that order. And you'll get some benefits.
Do it in that order.
And that's bombastic news. So you've decided to stand up.
Yeah. As you stand up, Xiber comes down the stairs and beats you to death with a Bombers episode.
You failed.
Meanwhile, we have upcoming releases coming this week. These releases on Tuesday, August 9th. Wow, it's August. Jeez.
It is August. It is halfway through summer-ish.
Every time I remember that, I just sort of die a little bit inside. Not unlike our listeners who decided to stand up from your chair. August 9th, Tuesday, we have coming out 2 Point Campus for PC, Switch, PS4 and 5, the Series Xbox, and Xbox One. Zyber, do you remember 2 Point Hospital?
No, but I remember seeing trailers for Two Point Universe or Campus. So
Yeah, it's part of the 2 Point management sim style series.
like
So 2 Point Hospital was build your own hospital to manage, similar to like the Architect or Tycoon games that are
okay.
out there. This one is Campus, so build your own university. Yep,
Interesting. Yep.
That's this game.
I played some mobile games like that, but this is probably better because it just
Isn't a mobile
you
game.
buy it and then you don't have to watch ads. Hopefully.
Yeah. We also have on August 10th, the next day, Wednesday, I know how the days of the week work, Lost in Play coming to the Switch and PC. This is a really cool looking, like, the animation on it is very cartoon, like,
It's very
it reminds,
animated, fluid animation.
yeah, did you ever watch, like, Hilda on Netflix?
No, but I've seen trailers for it.
It kind of reminds me of that sort of feel. Or there's a whole bunch of different cartoon shows that are very similar. So it looks really good. It's visually an attractive looking game.
Yep, it's a puzzle adventure game that I heard about back in like January of 2021 because that's when I added it to my Steam wish list, and it's finally coming out.
Yeah, one of the taglines on the official website is, "This whimsical puzzle adventure game will make you feel like you're playing a cartoon." And you know what? I believe it.
Yeah.
I do like adventure games and puzzle games. Or puzzle adventure games even. I might have to look into this myself.
I think it's gonna be pretty cute.
Yeah, it looks real cute. Not so cute is the game coming out the next day, Thursday, August 11th. Cult of the Lamb from Devolver Digital and Massive Monster is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, PC, and Switch.
Yeah,
Which is another roguelite style, along the vein of Binding Isaac, I believe, is what it's most inspired by.
yeah, it's definitely very uncute.
Yeah. But I know that there were a few of our community members that were looking forward to this. Speaking of community members, did we shout out our friends?
Oh crap!
Yeah.
You didn't remind
Jeez.
me too.
I
This is
didn't
all
think of it
your
until
fault.
just now. So for our friends who are smart and listen ahead and know that they don't have to stand up from the chair, those being
Haley,
am I doing it or
Aaron,
you
and
do-
Reaper,
yeah. And our best friends,
Anne and Rob.
you all remain in the chair so that when Xiber comes down, he just plays this very episode of the podcast for you in the basement. Go back to the beginning of the episode and listen from there.
You've lost time. Go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cult of
What was I talking
Cult
about
of the
before that?
Lamb.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb. Yeah,
It's-
I know some of our community members have been looking forward to this game.
It's very
I imagine
Cult Lammy like.
that Tim, who we sometimes raid off to on the stream, will be playing this, so we can probably look forward to him. We'll see. Either way,
We can
those
probably
are-
look forward to him.
yeah, we could just look forward to him. Those are this week's upcoming releases. I'm definitely interested in Lost in Play. Are you interested in any of these, Cyber?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Lost in Play, but also I was looking at like more like this for Lost in Play, and I saw the Klonoa, and I was just like, oh man, I gotta get that still.
Oh, yep. I probably will skip on that, I'll be honest.
I also still need to get KO the Kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
So much to get.
I am still... We'll talk about it. Never mind. I was going to talk about something, but I see that it's on your Binish recap, so I'm going to wait and talk about it when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do Weekly Bomb. The news items that are bombs in the past week. Either a bomb or the bomb. What'd you bring to the table this week, Zyber?
Well, so did you know that they were working on a Batgirl movie?
I did. Was it Michael Keaton was supposed to be coming back as Batman for that one?
Yeah, which is kind of a weird choice, but
I mean, it's pretty cool, actually.
it's like let's just keep making these DC Batman movie or Batman
Batman.
whatever movies that are completely unrelated to each other.
And keep having Batman be just some old guy.
Yeah, it'd be like, all right, we got Spider-Man. Now let's do Venom, and next we're gonna have a random Vulture movie that's completely unrelated as well. Cause why not?
And also a Morbius film.
Anyway, there's no longer a Batgirl movie. It's been completely canceled when it was around 70% done or something like that. And so a lot of people were just all like, but why? You put all that money into it.
There's a lot of weird because they had already dropped $90 million into the production, according to the articles I was reading. They had wrapped filming and were in post-production stages of it.
Yeah. And apparently they had, like, you know, the audience testing and they absolutely hated it or something. But that hasn't stopped movies from releasing before.
Morbius.
Yeah. Or, like, Catwoman. That was also, like, a terrible movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched it, but it is pretty much universally panned. Or, you know, Dawn of Justice, even. Ooh, got him.
I don't know that one.
The Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, or heck, Justice League. I mean, let's be honest. DC does not have a good track record when it comes to theatrical releases.
Yeah, so they've also canceled a Scoob sequel, which I didn't realize it was in existence. Scooby-Doo, that new Scooby-Doo animated movie, but they called it Scoob.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant when you said Scoob. I had not heard of this. Why? That's it. There's no follow-up, just why. In general, the whole situation. The Batgirl thing, though.
Can it really be worse than Cats?
And the fact that it was so far along, I mean, I know there's only so much you can do in the editing room to fix a bad film, but I feel like you could do something in the editing room to make it releasable.
Just get the people that made the new Sonic design for a Sonic movie, be like, just fix our movie, please, and see the magic happen.
Yeah, I mean, how bad can it be? I get the entire concept of don't throw good money after bad. If you've already spent money on the film, don't spend more money on it if you're not going to make the money back. I get that, but how bad can it really be? A lot of what I was reading in articles was that part of the cancellation had something to do with the recent... Who was it that was a merger? It was Warner? Dang it, Good journalism here.
Yeah, they merged. Or like...
They merged with someone.
Because like, I also know that like someone new like owns HBO Max and they're like cutting out a lot of stuff there too.
Discovery. I think it was Warner and Discovery ended up merging together, which means Discovery Plus and HBO Max are now merging into a single service. And part of that was that Discovery just didn't want to release Batgirl as on it. There's something about they didn't like the idea of releasing it to streaming only or something that was part of the decision-making process, which is weird.
Well, initially it was going to be theatrical, and then they decided that let's not do theatrical, and yeah, they're just like, well, we don't want it streaming either. Yeah, I'll just, you know, throw it at a store, be like, here, see if anyone buys this.
I mean, just honestly, how much are you going to sink into it to just finish post-production, because you're already there, and just throw it on a streaming service?
It's like they're all like, oh, it's going to cost money to advertise it. Well, don't.
Then just don't. You canceling it and uncanceling it is free advertisement.
Just like Sonic.
There goes the conspiracy side, just like Sonic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird choice to have what is essentially a completed movie.
Especially because like all those people worked on it, and now it's just poof, gone.
I mean, contractually, they're still getting their base pay, but anybody that was getting any form of like box office cuts in their contract or anything like that, pretty screwed.
Can they sue for that?
It depends on how the contracts are written.
Because like we saw let Scarlett
The Black Widow
Johansson, yeah,
film?
sue for that, but that was because it was streamed at the same time, I think.
Well, it was because the contracts were still adapting to the fact that streaming is a big thing now, and she was getting box office cuts, but the contract was not written to give her streaming cuts.
Yeah.
Which made it weird then because that cut into her expected profit, and like there's a legal just snafu around all of that. Whereas this, I would hope that they properly wrote the contracts to account for a streaming release. And then it depends in the contract what the like clauses are for cancellation of the film and non-release.
Yeah. I don't know. Unless they're not used to canceling their films.
I mean, who knows? They've put out some crap films in the past, so...
Like, I can't imagine it being the worst film of the year.
No.
There's gotta be worse. I don't
know. There are probably films that are so bad we don't even know about them.
Yeah, like there are some pretty good pretty banging ones or whatever. Good bangers.
I'm pretty sure Morbius came out this year. So
was that
Yeah. I was having the same thought with like Fall Guys came out 2 years ago, the day of recording.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West came out this year, and time has no meaning to me anymore, Xiber. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's why whenever a new game comes out on Ring players are all like, yeah, but it's not Game of the Year worthy because guess what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Dumb.
Sorry, guys. Stray's gonna win.
Stray's got Bomber Game of the Year pretty good lockdown so far.
Yes. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is a bomb because like it's not fun for the people who were a part of the movie. It's not fun for the people who actually were expecting it. And in general, like I don't necessarily like the idea of it because what if other people think about doing that with their movies instead of just finishing it and releasing it?
Well, one would hope that most people would cancel the film before they dropped $90 million into it and got into the post-production stages. Side note, just to follow up on the Morbius theme that's running throughout this entire episode. April 1st, 2022, which is a very ominous release date.
April Fools.
Yeah, they really should have seen that one coming.
That's fine. They released it a second time. Although everyone was busy that week, and they should try a third time.
Yeah, if they had consulted with any of us before the second release, we would have actually gone and see it. So if they could just ask us first and then release it for this third one, that'll work.
Like I totally am the kind of person that would watch a bad movie, like a terribly, terribly bad movie, just for the fun. Except that I don't have the time.
I went to the midnight premiere of Snakes on a Plane.
That's a good movie.
It's not a good movie.
It was so funny.
It's such a dumb, bad movie.
It was hilarious. And that's why I watch horror movies too. I laugh at them.
It was a terrible, bad movie, but you know what? I had a great time. There were people handing out little plastic snakes in line and everything. Like it was absurd.
Well, they knew what they were doing then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not like theater employees or anything. It was literally other people there for the movie were just like tossing snakes out into the crowd.
Well, then
plastic.
The audience knew what they were getting into. We need more movies like that.
Just goofballs bad movies.
Yeah. I mean, in general, it seems like comedies are disappearing, instead for adventure movies that have comedy in them.
Or just movies in general that have comedic aspects.
Yeah, which is like almost every movie now.
Well,
it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I want my comedy back.
A lot of comedy movies kind of started being bad. Like we're just in a dry spot. It's like you don't see a lot of westerns anymore. Generally speaking,
I feel like western genre and comedy genre are pretty different concepts.
No, but it goes through like ebb and flow type of stuff. Like look at some of the comedies that we got, which were the really bad, like Happy Madison style, not good. Sandler just wanted to get a paycheck and go on a vacation.
So you're saying that Sandler ruined the comedy genre?
Or look at all of the really bad parody films that were the blank movie type films, like Scary Movie and Not Another Teen, and all those were just not good films.
Okay.
They didn't understand what a parody was.
But, like, have you heard of Zombiever?
I have not. Go on.
I mean, it's just one of those really crappy sci-fi movies built for the Sci-Fi channel. Like, there's just a ton of them, but they didn't get rid of the sci-fi genre.
Zombievers came out in 2014, I will point out.
And then, all the Sharknadoes.
Sharknado 1 through 15.
Sharknadoes, where they, just tried making one of those generic sci-fi movies, but then it randomly hit off, and they're all like, oh, wait a second, we actually, gotta do something with this. And so
we can capitalize
they
on
hammed
it
it up a ton.
And they beat it into the ground. Yeah, they ruined something beat a dead horse, beat a cash cow. I don't know. There's a thing there.
I mean, when people were waiting for each one to release, it's not much of a dead horse, is it?
I mean, there were 15 Land Before Times.
Yeah, and I watched 7 of them.
The first one
before I grew up.
Yeah.
Magic Treehouse is still releasing.
That's gonna unlock some childhood memories if I Google that. Magic Tree. Huh. I don't remember this one.
Oh, that was a really good children's storybook series.
Interesting. Yeah, that must have missed it. Either way,
I guess it was
what were we
after your
talking about?
time.
I guess. Jeez. Thanks for that.
Anyway,
Batgirl.
Can't possibly
Definitely a bomb that they've canceled.
Can't possibly be the worst movie of the year.
I was honestly looking forward to that film. I was curious to watch it on streaming because, they were bringing back Michael Keaton, so.
It's a female superhero movie. We need more of those.
Yeah, that too. That's another reason I was really excited to watch it. But here we are. I got a fun news item for you.
Do you? Do you really?
Hey, Xiber.
Hey, Dig.
I came.
You what?
To the city to give you a message. Pokémon on motorcycles!
Oh. It's just like playing a children's card game on motorcycles, but instead it's a children's fighting monster game.
I can't tell if I love or hate this design choice that Pokemon is going for with the legendaries in Violet and... what is it? Sapphire? Violet and Sapphire?
Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, those are the words.
Sapphire's already been done.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I like the futuristic one where it actually, uses wheels, but the other one where it pops out circles on its chest and butt or whatever, but then it just runs on its legs anyway. It's
the designs are
what's the adaptation for that? Why would a...
But why?
But I really don't care because just as long as I don't need to use the HMs or whatever, I'm fine with whatever they do to replace that.
Yeah, and it looks like, we saw in the trailer these motorcycle Pokemon were land, water, and air.
Yeah.
Traversal. So that's nice, wrapping that all up together.
It's like using one Pokemon to do the stuff that you're able to do in Legends Arceus.
Yeah, and wrapping it all together so that you don't need an HM Mule or the weird flute thing that they did in Arceus.
Yeah.
Which is the way it's pronounced.
I'd like switching. Come on, Dag. The Arse phone.
Yeah, I remember. That was the title of an episode. These Pokemon are goofy looking. There's no way around that.
The legendaries, yeah.
The legendaries are goofy.
All the rest of the Pokemon.
All the rest of them are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love what they've released so far. The Fido, great.
Yes.
Who doesn't want a bread bagel dog Pokemon?
Smoliv.
Smoliv, which I love. Rumor in our Discord was like, if Smoliv does not evolve into Swoliv, they're missing an opportunity. And I agree. I want a Swoliv so badly.
Yeah.
What were the other ones?
What was the pig's name?
Yeah, it was good too. I remember.
Yeah. I actually know.
Keep talking. I'm gonna look it up.
I know someone. I really hate his attitude towards Pokemon because his attitude is if Mimikyu and Blastoise aren't in the game, then he's not going to get them because he only cares to play the game long enough to get his Mimikyu and Blastoise out of Pokemon Home and then just play the game with them. And I'm just like,
that's absurd. That is a ridiculous mindset to have.
I'm just like, I'm sorry, but the developers don't make these games based off of that. Like, yes, it's cool you can bring Pokemon from past games in, but man, I just want to go on an adventure and have 6 different Pokemon play with on my team.
I mean, a lot of the fun of getting a new Pokemon, I used to be anti this and be like, oh, there's too many Pokemon now. But now I get it. Like, a lot of the fun is just, what are the cool new designs that they are throwing out?
Well, he was trying to say that these designs in the new game are dumb and boring. And I'm just all like...
have you looked at them?
Yeah. And he's like, oh, it's so boring. I'm just all like, well, then every design in every Pokemon game is boring.
There was a middle area there where a lot of it was kind of like generations 4 through like 6 was like a little underwhelming with the designs that they had. But recently, honestly, I think they've been kind of hitting it out of the park with these.
Yeah.
Smoliv, great. Pawmi, kind of a weak design, honestly. It's the Pikachu XP for all intents and purposes. Paldean Wooper, who doesn't love a Wooper? Come on. Wooper.
Whoop, whoop.
Lechonk is
Lechonk,
which is such a good name. I can't wait to see the evolutions of Lechonk. Fido, of course, is the bagel bread dog. Cetitan, which is great because it's a combination of cetaceous or cetacean and Titan. Well done. Good, clever naming. Love to see those
combinations of words.
Yeah, the like word combo Pokemon are always really fun. And then the 2 legendaries are Miraidon and Koraidon.
Which probably translates to like past and future or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Legendaries are generally, like, honestly, the Sword and Shield legendaries, super boring.
Oh yeah, this was just freaking, look, this is an X and a Y. Woo!
Shield, Sword.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said X and Y. No, Sword and Shield. It's like, look, this is a sword and a shield. Woo!
Yeah, and I think, well, and this is a red motorcycle or a blue motorcycle. Woo!
Oh, it's not violet?
Stop. I mean, it is blue looking, though. It does not look purple. It looks blue to me.
Well, maybe you're the one that only tells lies.
Oh, yeah. The starters also, I know we've probably talked about this before, but they look great as well.
Yeah, you got Donald Duck, Weed Cat, and
just a
Pepper Gator.
Just a goober looking, yeah.
Pepper Gator.
Goober looking Pepper Gator. And I love that Quaxley, the duck, has like a coif for his hair, and it's great.
It's Donald Duck's hat.
Fuecoco is the weird looking pepper fire starter with just a slice of American cheese pasted to his chest.
Yes.
And then, of course, Sprigatito is the weed cat, which is choice.
Yeah, I think I might end up with Sprigatito as my starter.
I mean, I am a, like, devoted grass starter.
That's sick.
Player.
And I mean in a bad way, sick.
What? No. Bulbasaur was Bulbasaur was Bestasaur, okay?
Ugh.
And I have been riding that train since.
So I also know someone who says that they picked the starter based on looking up their final evolution. And I'm just like, why? Who hurt you?
Yeah, I kind of get that, though, because if you really think about it, the final evolution of the starter is going to be the one that you're playing the majority of the game with.
It's such a fun surprise to see my little Sobble turn into a secret agent.
Yes, but seeing the evolution is fun. That's my general take. I mean, you know me. I kind of like to avoid spoilers and leaks and things like that because I like the fun. I like the surprise.
Yeah, as soon as the starters were announced, people were already like coming up with their own concepts of the evolutions for them and such. And I'm just like,
I love
I mean,
it.
that's kind of interesting, but you're probably all going to be completely wrong and then disappointed.
Even if they're wrong, I think that being disappointed by that is the wrong way to go with that. Even if you're wrong, the fun of seeing the creativity from the community members is where it's at. That's where the fun is.
Except the Sprigatito is usually just a bigger green cat.
Well, yeah, those ones are kind of boring. So I'm hoping we get a lot more creative. As long as it doesn't turn into just a wrestling cat.
Yeah, I do hope that it is not a bipedal cat, or if it is, that it's something interesting besides just buff cat.
Buff cat or sexy cat. Let's avoid bipedal, actually. Can we just have...
I just want a really ugly... Give him 6 legs. It grows 2 more legs. Really ugly 6-legged cat monstrosity.
I want a Pokemon that's just legs. It's like the true biblical angel legs instead of eyes type of thing.
That was in Sword and Shield, wasn't it? The little yellow guys that were like...
Oh, I just lost it. They were like the Centurion Phalanx type.
Yeah. They were just all legs walking around with each other in a line.
Those were not... I'm talking like straight up like buff muscle human legs arrayed in a circle around the central part, just flopping. I want it to be
like
disturbing.
when it runs, does it just like spin in a circle?
It rolls. Yeah. Can we get fan art of that? Anyone out there?
Please, anyone listening to this, Rob, get someone to draw this.
Yes. That's so Pokemon on motorcycles, kind of dumb, but still probably the bomb for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've just never cared about the legendaries after Black and White. It's like, it's just whatever. They're going to give it to you. It's going to be whatever. You're never going to actually use it besides when they force you to.
Yeah, after Gold and Silver is when I, 1, kind of fell out of Pokemon, and 2, honestly, for real, stopped caring about the legendaries. Like Kyogre and the other one.
Like, well, I guess I'm also counting the Sublush, or whatever the other Pokemon are called that aren't legendaries but are also legendary.
I mean, the red and blue legendaries were the legendary birds, which choice.
Yeah, but like they also had like the deer Pokemon in Black and White.
Oh, Xerneas?
No.
Why do I know these things?
I don't know. Like
I don't know when Xerneas was, but Xerneas was definitely a deer Pokemon that was a legendary.
No, that's X and Y.
Is it?
Yeah, because the antlers make an X.
Oh, they totally do. That's dumb. I'm mad about that. What deer Pokemon are you talking about?
Like Black and White, like they had a 3 or 4 deer Pokemon that weren't legendaries, but there was something else, and I forget the term for it.
Regional?
No!
Deerling?
God.
What is the name of the deer Pokemon?
I don't know.
Thanks.
I never played Black.
No, that's literally what the internet, like, I was like, deer Pokemon, Black, White, and one of the suggested searches is, what is the name of the deer Pokemon? And I'm sitting here like, pretty sure it's more than one.
Or like the Reggie Pokemon. Are they legendary?
Technically. Or I guess technically one could consider Dragonite is... I mean, or are you talking about the legendary Pokemon, Arcanine?
Oh, they're actually called sub-legendary, apparently. Although they include the birds and the dogs in that for some reason. Even though, I guess Mewtwo and Lugia and Ho-Oh are considered the legendaries.
Yeah, Lugia and Ho-Oh, Mewtwo, but like, are they saying that a legendary is anything that there is only one of each playthrough? which would be the dogs, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, or the birds.
There's also mythical Pokemon too.
Well, yeah, that's like Celebi or Celebi or whatever it's called.
Yeah, so like we need more of those kinds of Pokemon, not just the
sub-legendaries or mythicals.
Both.
Oh, and a thing that I completely brushed over and just now remembered, the like weird new, let's call it what it is, the new gimmick form, which is the like gemstone Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch the trailer or anything, so I don't really know much about that.
Oh, it's dumb looking. Let me just put it down. It's the same weird generational gimmick like we had Gigamaxing and Dynamaxing. And,
I thought it was going to be more like Z moves.
And I was about to mention the Z moves type thing, but it's like an actual form change type of thing, so mega evolving, all those things that happen one generation and then never happen again.
Yep.
The alpha Pokemon from Arceus.
Maybe this time we'll get a remake that is actually a part of the, the generation, and so includes that kind of stuff. Because we haven't had that since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. So which one is due now? Because we got Diamond and Pearl, so that would be
Black and White.
Black and White. Interesting.
Yeah, but like that wouldn't be as cool because Black 2 and White 2 exist as actual sequels, and so unless they included that somehow, then...
Now, to be fair, that could be a good value add if it was Black 1 and 2 in one cart and White 1 and 2 in another cart.
Totally. If they did that. I've never actually played Black and White, so I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, me neither. And we know that they won't do that because they'll try and release them separately to get more money out of it.
At this point, that's the only generation that I haven't played, if I'm able to include playing remakes of generations.
Yeah, I didn't play Ruby Sapphire. I did not play Black and White or Black 2, White 2. I did not play XY. And then I jumped back in on Sun
X
Moon.
and Y sucked.
I thought Sun and Moon sucked.
Sun and Moon was better, but the constant story interruptions really annoyed me, that was for sure. Alpha Sapphire actually really enjoyed, but then I got really into the shows part, like the beauty pageant things.
Okay.
But like I wasn't leveled up enough to keep going, and then I'm just like, well, I don't want to play anymore because I want to. And so then I took a break and then eventually went back to it and beat it.
I think it would be cool if they kind of brought back the pageants and shows, but had a split where you could either be a battler or a like shower, a pageantry type person.
That'd be legit.
And actually, instead of having to do both simultaneously, you could pick one or the other to pursue. That would be an interesting.
Yeah, it's like I really love the Pokemon Adventure manga, and that's actually what they do in the Ruby and Sapphire. They have the guy do the pageants and the girl do the gym battles.
Yeah, and in universe, a lot of people are doing one or the other, not both. But you are the main character, so you're forced to do both, I guess. It'd be cool. My big worry about the upcoming, what is it again? Violet.
Scarlet.
Thank you. I will never remember. My big worry is that it's coming out real close to the back of Arceus. And it feels like they're doing that because they just didn't have faith in Arceus to be its own standalone Pokemon. So they immediately started work on this, or had separate teams working them so they could do it. And that they're not going to take a lot of the good stuff from Arceus and actually utilize it. And
they took some stuff from it, but it's disappointing that like they didn't keep the catching mechanic and such.
Yeah. Like, it feels like that standard Pokemon complaint of 1 step forward, 2 steps back type of, hey, you made some changes, but then you weren't confident in the changes, so you reverted them. the series needs to keep evolving and changing and getting better and doing more because it's
Well, that's the thing, though, is that they definitely didn't revert the changes. It's just that they didn't. They were developing
evolved.
both these games at the same time.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. The fact that they were doing them both at the same time.
Because Diamond and Pearl remake released 2021, so they still needed a quote-unquote mainline game for 2022.
Yeah. Or, the thing that I'm also worried about in that is, are we just now not going to get any Arceus DLC or anything? Any expansions to it?
We had one thing,
Because-
like, within a month or so of it coming out, and then nothing since.
Yeah, because we got both the two island expansions, the Isle of Armor and the Isle of Frost?
Something about snow, yeah, for
Yeah,
Sword and Shield.
The Sword and Shield had two DLCs. Arceus, nothing. Obviously, Diamond and Pearl makes sense. They didn't have DLCs to begin with.
Yeah, like, I mean,
But
when they...
I like...
Go
ahead.
Well, when they announced the Scarlet and Violet, for whatever reason, everyone was assuming that they were going to announce a Pokemon or new Pokemon game. I really hate that. Oh, that's right, because it was a Pokemon Direct. So,
Yep.
but I was just all like, please, please don't. And so I was like one of
Yeah.
the few people upset about it. Like,
You and
I'm
I
still
both...
excited for the game, but it's just like, guys, I thought you were finally changing. I thought you gave someone else Diamond and Pearl so you could make this different, unusual game, and then that still gives you another year then to release a mainline game. And it's, nope, psych. Turns out, no.
Yeah, they needed to take a break, take a breathing room, actually put in developmental time to do some cool changes based off of feedback from Arceus. No, they rolled right into it, and that feedback is at best going to be implemented late into the production cycle.
Yeah, like any changes that they actually want to keep that people like from Arceus, it won't be until the next game.
Yep. And I'm disappointed by that. But the actual Mon designs are good, and the motorcycle thing, while really dumb on its face, is good that they are combining all of the movement tech into a single solution.
Yeah, and they still have some new stuff to Scarlet and Violet that weren't even in Arceus. Like, they're having actual multiplayer, so you can run around in a field together. It's supposedly supposed to be actual open world. Don't fully know what that entails yet, but, that's at least something that they probably practiced with Arceus and then moved on to this game.
Yeah. And those are the kind of evolutions that the series really needs, so they need to keep leaning into that kind of stuff.
Stop having us walk through hallways, or if you do, at least make the caves like actual caves to explore again instead of literal hallways.
Literal hallways, yeah.
It's like the challenge of going through an area isn't just fighting trainers that are waiting for you. It's supposed to be actually, getting through the area.
Getting through. Mount Moon. Or just literally anything from Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or Gen 2 at that point. Honestly, even
Gen 3 had stuff.
Pearl and... Well, and even Pearl and Diamond, Gen 4 had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, overall, I'm still going to rate this as the bomb. The full trailer that the Pokemon Company released.
What they've shown of this individual game, it's a good stuff. They got good stuff going on. But overall, I'm still disappointed by Game Freak and how they're apparently forced to release a mainline game every year, even if they release a game that feels like it is also a mainline game that same year.
Yeah, I mean, this feels like, people talk about the Sonic cycle. This feels like the Pokemon cycle. Except in reverse. With the Sonic cycle, it's, a new Sonic, they're going to fix the problems. And then they don't, and repeat. Pokemon, it feels like, a new Pokemon, well, whatever, I'm not going to get it. And then I get it, and then repeat.
Like, I keep saying that they need to move to an ATB style, which the Arceus was closer to that.
Yep. They worked on it, but why... I don't think we've seen anything about the battle system in Scarlet.
I don't believe we have, but if they've shown us that there's no catching Pokemon out in the field, then I'm not sure if we should expect a change in the battle either.
Yeah, I kind of think that's likely.
But then again, like, I guess it makes sense not to have that catching mechanic because the point isn't to be catching a ton of the same Pokemon like it was in Arceus.
Yeah, but if they had some sort of blend, or at least, you know, an evolution of the system, because
I think an evolution would be like you still being able to throw like berries or at least your Pokeball to start a battle with some kind of bonus, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Some sort of way to create a pre-battle status effect or something along those lines. Something to just shake it up and make it more interesting. Because honestly, Arceus was good because it was fresh, but a lot of Pokemon has gotten real stale over the years.
Allow us to sneak up on a Pokemon from behind to get an extra turn at the start.
Yeah.
Become fresh by giving us a thing that's existed for a long time.
Since the early 90s.
Earthbound had that.
Yeah. Early 90s.
Just saying. Look, a pro of Earthbound. Earthbound's better than Pokemon, guys.
Ooh, let's not go too far with this here. Let's roll that a little slower here, Xiber. All right, that's the weekly bomb. Unless you have anything more you want to say about Pokemon.
Nah. I'll stop.
Okay.
I like the color violet though. That's what I'm going for.
You getting violet?
My favorite color.
I'll have to. More than likely, I'll do what I did for Sword and Shield, and I'll check with Rumor on which one he wants, and I'll take the other one. How much time do we have left? Are we going to do some Bomber's Notebook questions, or are we rolling into Minish Recap?
Let's do Minish Recap, just because I want to talk about stuff, and if we have time, then we can go back to Bomber's Notebook.
All right, well, if you want to talk about Minish Recap, tell me, what are some cool things you did in the past
played
week?
Stray.
Recap. Oh,
Stray! It's so adorable.
Yes.
Haley watched me play because that was the play and stuff. Although, we kept hearing things about that 4-hour mark is going to be something, and we're just like, okay. So
okay.
I won't go into detail, but so
thank you.
So yeah, Stray. You start off with a cute cat. First thing it does is like play and rub around with its cat feline friends in the wild. But then it gets stuck in this robot cyberpunk city, and you gotta figure out how to escape. And you're an adorable cat, and you find a drone with like a AI or something in it, and so he's helping you communicate with the robots and figure out how to escape. And it's adorable, and you're parkouring because you're a cat, and cats can just parkour.
Yeah. Cats love jumping on
so
things.
Fun. I remember before I played, I saw online people were just all like, hey, don't bother trying to like collect everything the first time. Just like go through the...
Just enjoy it.
I guess. But I was just all like, well, here I am enjoying the game, collecting everything. Because like it gets to like the first hub area where you got like a big part of a city section to find collectibles and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I just naturally found everything. Okay.
We're Zelda players. Running around and finding collectibles is part of what we do.
Yeah, I will say that I ended up missing 3 like key optional things. I went back and got those
that have missable collectibles. Annoy the heck.
Well, thankfully it's level select system.
Oh,
yes.
Good.
So
nice. I love that.
So I went back, I got the collectibles, there's a bunch of trophies that are also just from like doing specific things, so I went back and get a few of those as well. There's still more trophies for me to get. But I did there was one point where I saw an object and I saw that I could roll it into something, and I was like, I'm gonna do this, and it turns out it was a trophy for doing that.
Yeah. A trophy for doing things that naturally come to you is the best kind of trophy.
Yeah. But then I was looking at the trophy list, I found that there was stuff that I'm just like, I didn't know I could do that with this thing. Because, I totally knew, what object it was talking about.
I ended up, on I Am 8-Bit, pre-ordering the physical edition.
Yep, me too.
And I'm waiting for the physical. I'm not going to buy it twice.
I wanted to play it so bad, so...
I really do want to play it. I'm kind of upset that I have to wait for it, but at this point, it's just gonna be how it is. I got a bunch of other stuff to play anyway, so I'll feel fine.
Haley was all like, "Oh, that's fine. You can just sell the physical copy and keep the collector stuff." I'm just like, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep the physical too." Oh, and the music though was so good. Like, I saw I'm 8-Bit had a vinyl record. I was just like, "Well, I'm not gonna get that right now. I don't even know what the music is like." And then we played through the game, and I'm just like, "All right, I'm pre-ordering it now."
What type of what describe some of the music?
So it's got some like nice atmosphere music, but then also has like there's a part where a robot will play music on this guitar, and that was like fun music.
Ooh.
And it has decent like action picking up kind of songs and stuff.
What genre would you say most of the soundtrack is sort of sticking to?
I
Don't know.
Indie.
Oh, interesting.
You know, I can't describe the genre, so I'm calling it indie genre.
But it's not like EDM or any, like, with it being Robot City, they're not leaning into that like techno style.
No, not really.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean,
I like that.
There's
honestly.
some of that,
kind
but
of
it's not all of it.
But it's not predominant. Yeah. I was afraid that was what it was going to be, just based off a lot of the aesthetic, and I'm super happy that it isn't, because it sounds way more fun.
I think you'll really like the game. It's got a
deep meow button
story.
It's got a meow button.
It does have a meow button.
You're here talking about deep story. All I care about is I can press a button and make the cat make noises.
When I'm able to move, one of the first things I did was press all the buttons, found the meow button. I was like, heck yeah. And then I walked like 5 steps, and on the screen it said circle button for meow. I go, yep, I already figured that out.
Yeah, don't worry. That was the first thing I looked for.
So it took me, I think it was 7 hours for me to beat the game, but that I was like thoroughly examining everything. That's because I like doing that. So if you weren't as thorough as me, it would be like 5 or 6 hours. There's a trophy for being in 2 hours. I'm just like, that makes sense. That's like could be a fun speedrun game.
Yeah, I like a game that is a good digestible length. I don't want to be sitting there for 120 hours. I barely want to be sitting there and playing a game for 60 hours sometime. Mm-hmm. So a good, like, you're hitting around 10 hours, that's a pretty good length, in my opinion. 7, solid.
And it did what it was designed to do. If they were to make it longer, they would have had to added, more kind of gameplay stuff than what they did, and that would have taken a lot more time and creativity. Padding it out. Yeah.
Basically. And, as you said, one of the trophies is for beating it under 2 hours. Well, you beat it in 7 hours. Now you have to go through and do it under 2 hours, so that's 9 hours of content right there.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this, I am 100% going to platinum this game already. I'm devoting myself to that.
Like, I looked through it all. I'm just like, I could totally platinum this. There's just a few that, like, I have to get pretty far into a level to be able to retry what I need to try to get a trophy, but it's not much left for me.
Worth it.
I got all the collectibles. All that's left is just doing actions.
Yeah, the weird random explore trophy type things. Yeah. I will 100% platinum this for sure.
Yes. So what have you been up to?
Didn't do an excessive amount, but I did. Rogue Tower was on sale, so I picked it up. It is basically a roguelike tower defense game, and I really like tower defense games, so this one having a little bit more depth to it is good, and it's fun. I enjoy it because you can just load it up and let it run while doing other things. Like, I've been playing it while watching YouTube videos because it's tower defense. You don't have to pay attention an excessive amount. Well, you only have to pay enough attention to place your towers and then let the wave go through.
I do like tower defense for that reason. Like, I remember playing Bloons Tower Defense 4 back in the day.
Yep.
I would just get as far as I could until, or maybe it was 3. I don't know, it was one of those two, but I would just keep playing until the game crashed from there doing too much stuff on the screen.
And this one, it's a standard roguelike style. As you play, each time you go through, you get more experience points that you spend on upgrades that make your different tower is more powerful, so you make it further every time you go. Standard stuff there.
Yep. It's on sale right now for $12 instead of $15.
And that's why I bought it, because I was $3 off.
Well, you can buy the soundtrack too, which I notice a lot of games add that now as an option.
Yeah. The soundtrack is interesting. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's definitely Baroque. It is a Baroque-inspired soundtrack, but it's like Baroque with I don't know, drum and bass. It's drum and bass Baroque, I think is the best way to describe it.
I don't know what Baroque means.
Like Johann Sebastian Bach, like very harpsichordy.
Okay.
It's that from the Baroque era. Look it up. I actually generally am not super fond of Baroque music, but adding the drum and bass to it helps. To make me like it. So I just find Baroque to be a little bit too hoity-toity of a sound with that sort of mincing harpsichord.
Oh, but hoity-toity is so much fun.
Well, I don't know. Buy Rogue Tower and listen to it and tell me what you think.
I just bought it.
Yeah, it's $12. We'll talk about your experience with it next week. But it's got 3 different like playstyle modes: single defense, which starts with a single lane, double defense, which starts with 2, and triple defense, which starts with 3. But as you play and continually add, it's add a tile per wave type of game, and each tile has a random configuration, and some of the new tiles that you can have can split off to add new paths, and the end of each path is a spawning point for enemies. So it can sort of spiral out of control, potentially.
Well, I mean, you're designed to lose.
Well, yeah, it's a tower defense, and it's a rogue-style tower defense. You are, in fact, designed to lose until you become overpowered, and then you won't lose. But the progression is, it feels real good. I do, in fact, usually end up doing better every time I play, which means that they have properly tuned the XP rewards for your card, because the way the XPs work is you spend it on either permanent upgrades or card upgrades, and the card upgrades are every X number of levels. I think it's like 5 or something like that. You get cards that are tower upgrades. So that's another way that each playthrough is different. Like, on this one I'm going to focus on ballista towers with extra damage to armor instead of health or something like that. And on this playthrough, I'm going to unlock only the mortar towers and do a lot of splash damage. You can switch up your playstyle every time through based off the things that drop, much like a lot of modern-day roguelikes, like your Binding of Isaacs and your Enter the Gungeon and all of those. The play is different depending on what you get. Slay the Spire, etc., etc. You know how it works. There's a bunch of them.
That's good, though, because I've definitely played some games where I got to the point where I was just getting stuck at the same spot and dying and never getting enough experience to do anything. And it's like, what does this game want me to play? I'm so confused.
Yeah, this game has. I'm right now. I've been stuck on trying to figure out the proper combination of things to do to deal with enemies that are spawning that have shields, because I've gotten really good at killing. Obviously, just the normal health enemies are easy, and I've gotten really good at taking out the armor enemies. But things with shields, I still haven't figured out what combo of towers and placements and power-ups I need to beat those.
So I clicked install, and then 5 seconds later, it's installed.
It's a very small game because it's a rogue. It's a simple tower defense rogue.
Yeah.
You probably spent more time downloading the soundtrack than the actual game.
I can see that. I'm installing an update to Golf with Friends that's taking longer.
Yeah, and that's a fairly small game, although the physics engine in that probably requires.
The update is over 10 times the size of Rogue Tower.
Yeah, that's funny. So that's what I've been putting a lot of my time into, is Rogue Tower.
Nice.
And I purchased and have not played The Pathless, which was a game that was played at GDQ this past SGDQ, and it looked awesome, so I bought that. And I haven't installed it yet. And I did finally pick up and start playing Horizon Forbidden West again because I realized that I had not played a lot of that recently.
You never finished it, or you just never platinumed it?
No, I fell off and never finished it.
Wow.
So I was like, I need to get back in and play this because I was looking forward to it for so long, and then I played it and was like, this was very fun, and then I got distracted.
Yeah.
As one
That's
does.
like how I just keep saying, like, I'm gonna get back into Xenoblade Chronicles, the first game, and finally finish that so I can continue on the series. And, well, there's a lot of games that I want to play.
Keep coming out.
I'm still trying to catch up in 14. I'm still trying to get to Stormblood.
Yeah, and as nice as Horizon is, and as much as I absolutely love and adore the game, it is one of those longer style games, unlike Stray or The Pathless or anything that you can just sort of, hammer out real quick, or something along the lines of Rogue Tower, where you can be like, I've got 20 minutes free, let me play 2 rounds of this real quick.
And then you can play Leaf Roller Revolution while waiting for the tower to die.
No. I refuse. So that's it. That was my week.
Alright. Well, we're going to have to answer our Bomber's Notebook questions at a later date, because it is time for us to go play some insert community night game here.
So thanks, everyone, for playing this CYOA Bombers episode. Download, listen to the next episode to continue your adventure in Xiaber's basement.
Thank you for sitting.